ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिनि। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेषाय शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि। जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, and welcome all the devotees to the level 2 classes from ISKCON Mangaluru. Right. So until yesterday, we discussed about chapter 9, right? So in chapter 9, we went through various sections, right? So wherein the Lord actually at length discussed about the devotion, excuse me, he discussed about the devotional service, isn't it? So, so he actually took through us, right? The different kinds of worshippers, right? And then he even gave us the information of what happens if we worship other than the Lord, right? So if you worship the different categories of worshippers, right? So we'll actually go into those dhams, right? And then even he told us what is the way we should do the devotional service, isn't it? And then he even gave us how to do and then what to offer, right? So even he said that whatever you do, right? You just do it as an offering to me, right? So first thing was Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, and then he mentioned Yat Karoshu Yad Juhoshu, right? So whatever you do, right? So and then he even spoke about Ananya Bhaktas, isn't it? I spoke about Mahatmas, and then even he said that this devotional service can be performed by everyone, so it is not uh, based upon a particular caste or say the social status, or right. So it can be performed by anyone. So spirituality doesn't have any restrictions as we have in this material world, right? So and then at the end he ends how to do, right? So devotional service, he said that manmana madbhakto madhyaje mam namaskuru, right? So that's the way how we'll have to do devotional service. He said that you'll have to fix your mind, right? So if he said whatever you do, everything should be dovetailed to Krishna, isn't it? So now until this, right, Krishna has spoken how to do the devotional service and all these things, right? So now Krishna from this chapter, right? The chapter 10 is called opulence of the absolute. Okay. So wherein he'll describe his opulences. Okay. So on which devotees can fix his mind. Okay. So basically what happens is whenever we see something powerful, right, or something beautiful, so we actually remember it or we connect it very easily, isn't it? So the Lord will actually discuss all his opulences now. Okay. So the first thing is he showed the path saying that we should worship him. And then now he's showing his opulences so that we will connect in a much better way, right? So because it's not only about talking, right? It's even showing, right? So most of the thing what happens is if someone goes on speaking or it's only theoretical sessions, right? That'll not work out, right? So with that, if you have some practical applications also, right? Then you remember and then you connect more, right? So in that way, Krishna actually wants to do that only. Okay. And then he'll start chapter 10 by understanding Krishna, because Krishna is the origin, we know, right? And then, so you don't know, so because he's Adi Deva, is it? So and then he is the source of everything, right? Everything has started from him. So most of them don't know him, right? So that's the first section, right? In 10th chapter. So he'll be touch basing that, and then he'll be discussing the essence, the Chatur Shloki. Okay, the Chatur Shloki of Gita, which comes from 10.8 to 11, right? And then we will see how Arjuna accepts Krishna's positions. Okay, and then he'll actually request to hear more of his opulences. Okay, because he wanted to establish these things for the future generations. Yeah, and then from the next 20 verses, 20 or 22 verses, right? So the Lord actually will explain his opulences. Okay, so only he'll explain some portion of it. Okay, so not all the opulences, because all the opulences it is not possible. So he'll say that I'll only discuss few which are very common. Okay, so not all of them. So all the opulences, if we discuss, those are unlimited. So we cannot, neither we can understand nor we nor the books. It will not be confined to any one book. Yeah. So now first Krishna will actually describe his position, then Chatur Shloki, then Arjuna's acceptance on his request and the opulences. Okay. So there is a length of opulences which he'll discuss. Okay. So this is what now whatever we spoke, right? A devotee can fix his mind and however to remember him whenever he sees any opulent, powerful, and beautiful things in creation. So how do we actually connect to Krishna? So most of the times we'll be saying that we should actually dovetail everything to Krishna in day-to-day activities, right? So by seeing his opulences, right? So all the opulences we'll be discussing. So whenever you see that opulent thing, right? So then you should recollect, okay, so this is the creation of Krishna, and then he is Krishna. In that way, you can actually remember the Lord. Yeah. So once we focus on this opulences, right? So by hearing, so our devotion will increase. Okay. So the again here, this is also again Bhagwan Vacha. Okay. The Supreme Lord said, my dear friend, mighty armed Arjuna, listen again to my Supreme Lord word, which I shall impart to you for your benefit and which will give you great joy. Okay. So now Krishna is actually saying that I'll be actually describing this knowledge, okay, which is better than what I have already explained, so that you'll get connected. And then we know, right? So Bhagavan. So this was discussed in chapter 1, right? Chapter 1 or 2, 1 only, I think. So wherein we described about Bhagavan, right? So Bhagavan was actually explained by Parasara Muni, right? So who is Bhagavan? So Bhagavan has all the 6 opulences which are in full, right? So one who has full strength, full fame, full wealth, knowledge, beauty, and renunciation is Bhagavan. So this is explained by whom? Parashara Muni. Parashara Muni is who? So he is Vyasadev's father. Okay. So now he's, when Bhagwan himself is explaining these things, and then he is saying that you'll learn more out of these things, and then you'll be able to connect more nicely, right, to what I have spoken until now, right? So he's giving again, he's saying listening. Yeah. So this is what the 6 opulences which we spoke in, right? So this is Parasharman. So this is from Vishnu Purana. Okay. So most of these things are referred, okay, from some Shastra. Okay, the background, everything has got a shastric evidence. Yeah. So he says that you should listen. Okay. So first thing is in chapter 7, right? The Lord has explained his different energies and how they are acting, right? So he's, and then 9, he establishes his different energy in devotional service, right? For firm conviction. And then now he gives more confidential knowledge of his specific opulences and his work so that we connect. Yeah? So what is the hearing about, what is the way we'll have to get this knowledge is through hearing, right? And then what is the benefits of hearing? So you'll be fixed in devotional service, right? The more one hears, the more one becomes fixed in devotional service. So that is how we'll have to be, right? Else it is very difficult, right? So the devotional life, right? It will get stagnant, and then say it is easily, so you'll move out. You can get distracted very easily unless you do it consistently, right? So your agenda should be fixed, like Srila Prabhupada, right? Srila Prabhupada's agenda was always fixed. So whether he'll be in this country or whether he'll be in another part of the continent, wherever it is, right? So it doesn't matter. So his Mangalarti time, right? His writing books, his preaching time, everything. So everything is actually slotted. So his agenda is always fixed. So he could be in any part of the world, right? So in similar way, so anyhow, we can't imitate him. So because he used to sleep only for 2 hours in the night, and then rest all the times he used to write and then used to dictate the scriptures. So all those things we can't imitate. So the only thing is, at least we should know, we should do whatever he has prescribed, right? So our sadhana, right? 16 rounds, 4 legs. At least we have to do that. Yeah? And then now he says that, so knowing this knowledge, he says that, so you'll be able to connect me. And then he says that no one knows me. Krishna says, neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin. For in every aspect, I am the source of the demigods and the sages. Okay. So he says that to me, no one knows. Okay. So any qualification you have, right? So you'll not know him. Okay. So think of the great personalities. See, they are much better than us, right? See, they themselves, the rishis, right? Even Lord Brahma doesn't know him fully. So what this tiny brains in this tiny planet will know about him? Yeah. So even we can't speculate about the Lord. Yeah. So even so by studying the shastras and all those things, right? So whatever you do it, right? So it's very difficult to know the Lord, right? So whatever knowledge is being given by our gurus, right? So let's accept that, and then with faithfully, then only we can understand somewhat about the Lord. Else it's not possible. So we know the Brahma Vimohan Leela, right? What happened? So Brahma actually didn't believe that this cowherd boy is Krishna, because Krishna was actually eating with his friends, right? So he was sharing the morsel of food with others and all. So this doesn't happen. Okay, if basically if you look in because their bhav was different, right? If at all, if you'll have to do any bhoga or anything, right? So there are so many rules and regulations you'll have to follow in. So it's not that say anywhere the Lord you can give anything. So Brahma actually thought that, so we have so many formal things to actually offer the Lord. How can a Lord actually eat morsels from others, and then he's sharing his food. So that's why he did that. He stole the calves, and then we know the story, right? So what happened? So Krishna actually recreated so many similar calves. So he himself entered into them, right? And then 1 year passed by, but nobody knew what happened. And then Brahma had to fall on the feet of Lord Krishna because he didn't know. Wherein Brahma was the first living entity who was born out of Lord Vishnu, but still he doesn't understand. It's very difficult. Yeah? So Krishna is cause of all causes. Okay. So and then we know Ishvara Param Krishna, Satchitananda Vigraha also, right? So even that tells us these things. So Lord indirectly declares, "Here I am as the Supreme Personality of Godhead." Simply by studying his words in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, we can understand him in full. Okay. So Krishna should have give some favor, then only we'll know. Else it's not possible. So that's the thing, yeah. See, why the Supreme Lord comes to this planet as an ordinary human being and executes such wonderful, uncommon activities. Yeah. So this is all due to the desire of the pure devotees. Okay. So else the Lord, there is uh, no agenda for him to come in. So unless if there is any if there is any dharmic issues and all those things, then only he'll come and then he'll actually protect his devotees because the devotees desire for it. Yeah. So then he says that he who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme lord of all the worlds, he undulatedly among men is freed from all sins. He says that who can know, right? So if anyone knows that I'm Aja, okay, and then I'm unborn, right? And I'm Adi. Okay, so he's giving all those words. Yeah, Aham Adir. So he's saying that I'm the origin. Yeah. So if anyone knows that, okay, that then I am the source of. So that he says that for him, right, he is freed from all sins. Okay. So in seventh chapter also we have seen, right, Manusyanam Sahasresu. So also out of thousands of men, only one will actually know the platform of spiritual realizations, right? And then he'll take up the devotional service, isn't it? So, and then the Lord says that one should know that the Lord is the supreme proprietor of the planetary systems of the universe. So here he's saying Loka Maheshwaram, right? So he's giving so many hints here, right? So, and the other thing is, so when the Lord actually appeared, so in the womb of Devaki Mata, right? So before actually he was born, see, he showed his four-handed form to both Devaki and Vasudeva, right? And even when the Lord was born, so he was born with all the jewels and everything, right? So that's the thing, right? So when the Lord was born, he showed the four-handed form and then he took the two-handed form, right? So all these things will not know, right? So these are he's unknown. That's the reason, right? So it's very difficult to know his original form, right? So because he's very transcendental and then nobody knows him because he is the first born and then he has created the whole universe. Okay. Yeah. I think this is all Aja unborn. This we covered. Yeah, and then now he actually gives a list of things. Okay, so all the qualities. See, the Lord actually now will list all the good and bad qualities. Okay, so basically he says that all these various qualities of the living beings are also created by me. Okay, so there is a list which the Lord has given. Okay, so he says that intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, eh, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. eh. So he is giving all these qualities are also created by him only. We'll see in the coming chapters, right? Krishna will spend a lot of time in explaining the qualities. Okay, and then what are the qualities which are actually in different types of gunas, right? So Krishna actually stresses, if you look in the whole Bhagavad Gita, right, most of the stress is given for the character. Okay, it's not only the philosophical thing, but Krishna actually stresses a lot on the character part also. So at least there will be around 150 to 200 verses wherein he talks about the character, because character is very important, right? Without character, we can't do anything. So he says intelligence, right? The intelligence is nothing but the power to analyze things in their proper perspective. Okay, and knowledge, knowing the distinction between matter and spirit. So the academic educations which we have in, right, so the material education which we actually learn, right, so that will never talk about soul, spirit, right? So even if you have heard in the Prabhupada lecture also, right, so he goes into a university and he asks, is there a department for this? So nobody teaches about that. So all the education system which is there, right, they'll only talk about matter. Yeah, and then freedom from doubt and delusion, right? So this is based upon the understanding of the transcendental philosophy, right? So this is freedom from doubt and delusion is nothing but we should not accept anything blindly. Okay, so that's important. Yeah, and tolerance and forgiveness. So we should not be very rigid for everything, right? So we should actually tolerate, because Krishna himself he says that Shitoshna Sukha Dukkhada, right? So there will be, so this material world is bound to have both the facets, right? So you'll have good and bad. So at times you'll have some sukha, you'll have some dukkha, or you'll have more dukkha, you'll have less sukha, but nothing is consistent. So these things vary depending upon our credits, right? Past credits, what we have. So, but nobody will only get sukha or nobody will only get dukkha. There will be some mix and match. Okay. So we should have forgiveness. We should have, and we should actually be humble, right? And then, so some dishonor and all these things, right? So we should be practiced to bear them. Okay. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, right? Trinatapi sunechena, tarurapi sahishnuna, right? So we should be like the blade of grass, right? So we should be humbler than the blade of grass. So that's the thing. And then truthfulness, right? So facts presented as they are for the benefit of others. So this is the thing, right? So whenever we have to speak, right? So if we should not be speaking to please the audience, okay? So rather, we should be actually be able to tell, say, as things are, okay? So it shouldn't be that, okay, there is a segment of people and then who don't like this a particular aspect of the devotional service, I'll tweak it as per the need. Doesn't help. We'll have to go and then tell the fact, right? So if you look in, right, so what happened when there were a lot of gurus who went to the West, right? So they did a lot of, they were going for meditation and whatnot, yogas and all these things. They went in to the West, but they actually got adapted to that culture also. Okay, so most of them, right, because they felt that if I don't adapt to their culture, right, nobody is going to accept it. Okay, but if you look Srila Prabhupada, right, he never accepted that. So rather, he made the Westerners to wear dhoti. So that's the thing. Yeah. So control of senses, senses should not be used for unnecessary personal enjoyment. Yeah. And then say controlling the mind, right? So the mind is actually very fickle, right? So even Arjuna says, right, it's very difficult to control the mind, right? But so we and then Arjuna asks this question, and Krishna also gives. He says that yes, Chanchalam Himana Krishna. Then he says that yes, it is, but you'll have to do with. He gives the solution also. You can keep it in control by doing abhyasa, right? And then so next is happiness and distress. So always considered in relation to what is favorable or unfavorable to the Lord. Okay. And then these are couple of things. So we'll actually cherry pick couple of them. So we may not be able to cover everything. Yeah. So and then the other thing is, or else I'll try to cover it a little bit faster. So birth is nothing but for the soul, right? There is no birth and death. And fearlessness, abhayam. So those who are in Krishna conscious, right? They don't have any fear because they know that yesterday also we saw, right? So the Lord says that yoga kshemam vahamyam, right? So he says that he'll take care of them, isn't it? So that's the reason if you look in, right, in the past, so when the sannyasis or the brahmacharis were there, right? So they never used to collect, then you never used to endeavor for what will happen tomorrow, nothing. So they'll go for madhukari, and then they'll only bring whatever is required for that day or for that time. So if someone is going for a madhukari in the afternoon, right, he'll bring whatever is required for that day. That's it. So he'll not stock it for tomorrow, day after, 1 month, nothing. Because they have full faith in the Lord. And then they'll never stay in one place also. Yeah. And then austerity, right? So you'll have to do some tapasya, right? So for the higher benefits, right? So like for us, right? So like doing the sadhana, like getting up early in the morning, right? And then so even so getting up early in the morning, we'll have to do it in all the time, right? So it's so when it is hot summer also we'll have to do it. Similarly, when it is winter, at that time also we should actually do that. So raising early. So in winter, mostly people will not like to do that, but that is the austerity which you'll have to do in, right? And then there are few days. So wherein the fastings are recommended, right? So like Ekadashis and all, right? So that has to be done. And then charity. So wherever possible, if we can give, so then we'll have to give some charity also, right? So not charity to the um, different sources, but to the authentic source, right? So wherein you can actually give it to any temple or so. Yeah. Okay. I think rest all it's there. Prabhupada has written a very big purport. Okay. So wherein he has actually touch based every quality. So you can actually go through it. Okay. So we'll see the next section. So wherein the Lord says that the great seven sages and before them the four other great sages and the Manus, right? The progenitors of mankind are born out of my mind, and all creatures in this planet descend from them. So now he is saying that everything, right? The seven sages, right, and the Manus, okay. So they were all actually born from him, okay. So we'll see the list, right? The Sapta Rishis we know, in, right? So that I have covered in, okay. So if you look in, right, in this particular verse, he says that the Chaturva Manavas, right? So who are they? They are nothing but the four Kumaras. Okay. S- Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumar. So they are the four. Okay. And then these seven sages. Okay. And then the 14 Manus. Okay. So Kashyapa, Atri, right? Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, Gautama, Jamadagni, and Bharadwaja. See, these are the seven sages, and then 14 manus. You can Google it, and then you'll get it, right? All together these are 25 prachetas. Okay, they are called 25 prachetas. All these are born from Brahma. So that's the reason we call him as the grandfather. But Lord Krishna is called Prapitama. Okay, why? Because he is the father of the grandfather. Okay, because Brahma was born from the navel of Lord Vishnu, isn't it? So in this 14 Manus, right? So we are at this Vaivatsa Manu is the current Manu. Okay. And then that also changes. That is also like the post. Okay. The Prime Minister post is there, right? It keep on changes, right? So it's just a designation wherein there'll be different people who will be coming and taking. Okay. So even Brahma's position is also same. Yeah. So all the living entities, their positions are same. Okay, so Brahma is a position, and then if in this yuga, if there is one Brahma, right? So in the next time he may not be the same Brahma, so he'll be replaced. Okay. He who knows in truth the glory and power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service of this there is no doubt. Okay, so now he's saying that anyone who knows, okay, so he says that anyone who actually has this knowledge, the highest knowledge, right? So, what the Lord is trying to tell here is people generally know that God is great, isn't it? But they don't know they don't know in detail how the God is great. That's the reason the Lord is actually trying to give us His opulences so that we'll know. Until now, we have only heard that the God is great, right? But now the Lord will tell us how He is great. Yeah? So this He'll be confirming it with the opulences. Okay. So what is the basically why this need of opulences we have been talking through this, right? Because one becomes fixed up in the and in the devotional services, one increases his interest, right? So the basic agenda of this whole seven slokas is we should not neglect to understand Krishna. Okay, so how great is Krishna? So we'll get those details. So that will be discussed at a length in this chapter. Okay, so
Hare Krishna.
now,
Prabhuji, I have one question.
huh,
In the previous slide, you mentioned that Brahmaji and all these are just
huh,
posts like Indraji. Does that even apply to Shiva, Lord Shiva?
no, Shiva is different. So Shiva doesn't fall in Jiva Tattva.
Okay.
Lord Shiva is a different category. Okay, so he's closer. He's almost Vishnu Tattva. Okay, so there are actually, so when you read the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, right? So in your next level, so you will have all the qualities. Okay, there will be 64 or 66 qualities. Okay, um, which the Lord has. Okay, and uh, Lord Shiva will not have one or two. Okay, in them, and he is not a Jiva Tattva, so he's different. So he's very powerful, and then Shiva is different. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Prabhuji.
So appreciating creation, Krishna's position leads to surrender. Okay. So that's what we discussed in. So now we'll enter into the Chatur Shlokas. Okay. So these are very important, right? So these have come from Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam has also got Chatur Shloki. Okay. So similarly, say in Bhagavad Gita, these four verses which we'll be reading through, right? So these are called Chatur Shloki, and then so it is good to remember these things, right? So it is this we'll spend probably the rest of the class in understanding these verses. Okay. So now the Lord says that in 10.8, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. He says that I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who knows this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Okay. So the Lord has started giving the knowledge, right? So he's actually he'll give a lot of references also. Okay, so in this purport, right, Prabhupada gives in different Upanishads. He quotes in wherein he says that Krishna is the beginning, and then who gave the knowledge to Brahma, right? He even goes to Narayana Upanishads, wherein Narayana is the is desired to create the living entities, right? So he created the Brahmaji and then the 25 Prachetas, Indra, Vasus, the 11 Rudras, the Adityas, Dwadash Adityas, right? So, and then even I think in Vara Purana also these things are there, right? So, all these things have been detailed in, okay? So we'll see. I think this is covered in the next slide. Yeah. So Krishna as the original, right? He is the source of all spiritual and material world. Okay. So he is giving those information. Aham sarvasya prabhavo, right? So mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam. So he is saying that say iti matva bhajante mam, right? So who knows this, right? Saying that the Lord is the source of everything. Okay, and who becomes devoted, bhajante, onto me, right? So, Buddha Bhava Samanvita, the learned with great attention. Okay, so this is the wise who actually engage in the devotional service, and then they give a full length, right? So they give up their hearts, right? Say they fix their hearts, okay? So, and that's the thing which we all should know, and because the Lord is saying, so he's not saying that there is anyone else, okay? He's saying that aham. So he's specifying it's me, right? So this is what worshippers results of knowing this. Whosoever knows him, so they engages in devotional service, surrenders. Yeah. So here it is. Okay, so this is very small though. So wherein see the Lord says that He is the beginning, who gave the knowledge to Brahma. Okay, so or else we'll do one thing. So let me open this purport. So I'll just show you the important things. 1 minute. Yeah. So if you've seen right, so this is the place. So wherein it was Krishna who is the beginning, who instructed Brahma in Vedic knowledge. So this is from Gopal Tapani Upanishad. Okay. And then if you see in Narayan Upanishads, right? In this, the Upanishad actually says that Atha Purusha Havaya Narayana Akamyat Praja Srijayate. Right? So he says that then the Supreme Personality Narayana desired to create the living entities. So this we actually covered in that what was it in the Goloka chart, right? So we saw this, right? So here it is being said Narayana Brahma Jayate, Narayana uh, Prajapati Prajayate, Narayana Indro Jayate, Narayana Astu Vashovi Jayanate, right? So Narayana Ekadasha Rudra Jayante, Narayana Dwadashida. So this is what from Narayana everything is gone. So this is what he's saying. So he's everything emanates from him. So if anyone asks what is the evidence, and you can actually quote these things. Yeah. Okay. So there are a lot of things which actually a lot of quotations which in the Vara Purana also it is being said that Narayana is the supreme personality of Godhead, and it's from him Brahma was born, from him Shiva was born. So if you actually if you can remember these shlokas, right? So these are all from Shastras wherein you can go and actually preach
Uh,
anyone. So
Prabhuji, your voice is not coming clearly. I don't know whether it's just me, but it's gone a little. It goes like soft and loud. So I don't know whether it's just me or.
now is it okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's now. It's okay. Yes.
Okay, possibly I have hit my mouthpiece. Okay, take care. That's fine. Okay, so then we'll go to the next shloka. Okay, so then he says that what happens if somebody knows him? Okay, so somebody knows that I am the source, and then he says that they are the wise, right? And then what do? Right? So matachita madagata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantaschamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Okay. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are surrendered to me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss, enlightening one another and conversing about me. So what happens? What is the next stage? Right? So once you surrender, right? So what do the devotees do? Right? So they are always engaged, right? So they always are engaged, right? In discussing about the Lord, right? Say, and then they do bodhayanta is nothing but preaching among themselves, and then they do the kathayanta is nothing but talking about the pastimes of the Lord or anything which is related to the Lord, right? And then when Nityam, right? Kathayantascha mam Nityam. It's not that once in a while or only during the festival seasons we remember the Lord. It's not that way. So the pure devotees relish every day, right? So every day, every moment they try to relish because they don't have any other agenda. They would like to talk. Say one thing is Kathayantas, right? So this is very Kathayanta is nothing but talking, right? So this is a very common trait for all the living entities, right? So if you look at it, all the human beings do katha, right? So everyone does katha, so there is no doubt. It's we all are very good at doing the katha, but what katha do we do? So that is important, right? So in this context, right, it is being said, right, they do of mine, right? Kathayantascha mam nityam. So it is not the kathayanta of swakatha, right? Or the economic development or the grama katha. So what happened to the neighbor? So what happened to neighbor's son, right? So all these things, those are not the kind of discussions which the Lord is talking. So these are about either we glorify the Lord or we hear, right? So here again, two things are being stressed out, isn't it? So one is they are actually talking. So one is talking, the other is both Shravanam and Kirtanam is happening here, isn't it? So by doing so, what is happening? They become pleased and then they are actually enjoying the transcendental bliss. Okay. So even in here, right? Say the an example is also been quoted. Okay, of the fish, right? So what happens? So when the fish is being removed out of the water, right? So the fish cannot live, right? So even though you actually take that fish in a golden vessel, okay, so will that fish live in that golden vessel without water? No,
No.
it's not possible. So in that way only, so the pure devotees who have actually taken shelter of the Lord, right? So they'll not be able to actually spend time, or so they can't think of anything other than Krishna. So they become, so their um, faith is in such a way that so they don't get deviated into any other things. Yeah. And then even here, right? So Lord Chaitanya actually tells about the Bhakti Lata beach also. Okay. So we'll see through. So it is there in this deck also. So this is what we spoke about at a length. So I think this I need not go through. Okay. So the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, life fully devoted to my service, right? What at the end what they derive? Full of transcendental bliss. Yeah. So this is what the Bhakti Lata beach. Okay. So which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually mentions in the Madhya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay. He's actually Lord Chaitanya compares the transcendental devotional service as sowing a seed in the heart of a living entity. So who sows this seed actually? This is from the Guru. Okay. So that bija comes in. Okay. Bija is nothing but the seed. Yeah. So and then not everyone gets this seed. Okay. And so you might be seeing that there will be a lot of people, and out of it, only a few select will actually take up that. Okay. And then once that devotional bija is being embedded, right? So the watering, right? It is done by hearing and chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So that is the food for that seed, okay? And then that's the food for your soul also. Then the seed fructifies and grows, okay? So it penetrates the covering of material universes, then it slowly reaches the Brahma Jyoti, okay? And then it reaches the final destination of Golok Vrindavan, okay? This Bhakti Lata beach. So everywhere, so this continues. And then it gradually bears fruits and flowers, and watering process goes on. So still your devotional service goes on in full absorption. Thus one becomes fully absorbed in the love of Godhead and then cannot live for a moment without the Lord. At this stage, this stage, devotee attains transcendental qualities in contact with the Lord. So that's the path. Okay. So even if we go to the Golok Vrindavan also, right? So there also we'll be doing the service to the Lord, right? So then until now he talked about the devotion service, right? So and then he says how does he reciprocate? Okay. So from 10.10 onwards, right? So it is 10.10 and 10.11. Okay. The Lord actually says that he spoke about pure devotees. Now he talks about how he, excuse me. So he says that how he'll actually reciprocate. Okay. Tesham satata yuktana bhajatam pritipurvakam dadhami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. Right. So the Lord says that to those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they come to me. Okay. So this is again an important thing. Okay. So wherein the Lord is saying that whosoever, right, who is a pure devotee, okay, and then if he is lacking something, okay, so then the Lord actually gives him that. Okay. He gives him that knowledge. Okay. That intelligence he gives in. Okay. But one should be sincere and devoted. Okay. So it's not that if we are not having that faith and if we are not doing that, then it will not help in. Right. So one should be doing some activities, right? So the devotional activities which are for Krishna. Okay. So, and then this intelligence actually uh, you'll get, okay, so this intelligence, this instructions you'll be getting from two places. Okay. So those two places are nothing but one is internally he guides as in Paramatma. Okay. And the other one is externally as the Guru, as your spiritual master. Okay. So you'll be getting this information. And then the Lord actually here, if you see, he stresses about Buddhi Yogam, right? So Buddhi Yogam is nothing but Bhakti Yoga, isn't it? So when one's goal, right? When one knows the goal and seeks completely in Krishna consciousness or in devotional service, right? That's called Bhakti Yoga, isn't it? And then one who knows the goal is Krishna but takes pleasure in mental speculation is called Jnana. And then one who takes the fruits, who is addicted to the fruits, that's called Karma Yoga, isn't it? So here it is. Uh, how can how one can get introduced and know this goal? So this is actually by getting the association of the devotees and the spiritual master. Okay. So the ultimate goal of progress is Krishna. Yeah. So Buddhi Yoga is nothing but is the process by which one gets out of the entanglement of material life. Yeah. So Krishna actually externally helps as a bona fide spiritual master. Okay. And then from within, right? So he's called as a Chaitya Guru. Okay. So he actually instructs internally. Okay. So what is the qualification? We'll have to be sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service. So if you do that, be rest assured that the Lord will actually help you. See, he himself is saying, this is not something which I am telling, right? See, the Lord is saying that anyone does devotional service, right? Even though there are some hiccups, right? So there are some challenges. So with those also, if we are actually able to do our devotional service, then the Lord will actually show us the way. Okay. So and then he'll actually remove those stumbling blocks. Okay. Yeah, this is what we discussed in. Okay. So Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga. Right? And then now he goes one step further. Okay. Tesham eva anukampartham aham ajnanajam tama nashyashyami atma bhavasto jnana deepena pashvate. So he says that he now talks about the special mercy. Okay. Out of compassion for them, I dwelling in their hearts, destroy the shining lamp of knowledge. Destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Okay. Now, this is about the special mercy of the Lord. Okay. So the Lord actually destroys all the unwanted things, all the ignorance which is there in the heart, the darkness which we have got, right? So even that's what we talk, right? Om Agyanti Mirandasya, right? So what is that? So that is the torchlight, right? So we pray to the our Guru, isn't it? Similarly, when the Lord enters, right? So in our heart, so the Lord is full of bliss and lighting, right? Once he enters, there is no question of darkness. Yeah? So that's how he says in. Okay. So here the analogy of sun is also being given. So Krishna is like the shining lamp or the sun who actually destroys the darkness in the heart of a devotee. Okay. So basically, our heart is actually um, covered with a lot of material dust, right? So this is there from so many births, right? So that's what Shashkam says, right? Cheto darpanam arjanam bhavamahadavagni, right? So we have accumulated the dust from so many millions of years, okay? And then how do we cleanse that? We can cleanse it by chanting the Mahamantra. So that will actually clear, right? So it will actually clear all the material desires, the unwanted material desires, yeah? So the special mercy is basically rendered to a pure devotee. Okay. So unless this mercy we get either from the devotees or from the guru, right? So by mental efforts, we will not be able to know, right? So this is the special mercy which the Lord gives in. Okay. See, speculation or mere mental effort actually fails to help. So with this, you'll never know. Devotional service is the only way by you'll actually know. Okay. So Krishna is like the shining lamp. Okay. So wherever there is light, so darkness disappears. Okay. And then we know the classic example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, right? So I think I discussed this in the previous class, wherein we spoke about Prakashananda Saraswati in Benares, right? So wherein he converts all the Mayavadis into Vaishnavas, right? So they said that he's a Bhavuka, right? So that you know. Okay, I think we'll stop here, right? Because it's already 1 hour past. Uh, okay, I think we'll stop here. Rest we can cover in the next class. The next thing would be that Arjuna actually now he accepts. So he already accepts, but now he'll declare that he is accepting the Lord, right? So he'll say that Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, and so he'll actually accept the Lord. So this is the verse which we'll see in the next class. We can see Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavam, Purusham Shashvatam, Divyam, Adi Devam, Ajam Vibhum. So he's actually, so until here, it's not that Arjuna didn't actually surrender to the Lord. So Arjuna has already surrendered, and then he knows that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. But now he's actually reconfirming these things to us. Okay, so this we'll see in the next class. Any doubts, Mataji's, in
Yeah,
today's class?
not in today's class, Prabhuji, but I was not able to attempt for the test. I think so. Mataji can answer this because
Yes,
I was not able to log in, Mataji.
yes, Mataji, there is some issue going on with the this site. So it means I will get back to you, Mataji. I will check if it is resolved or not. But from sometimes it is going on. There are some virus and all. That's why it's down.
Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
we are nobody is able to log into that for the quizzes.
Hmm.
So we have to just a little bit wait for that,
Okay,
Mataji.
okay, Mataji. I'll do that. Yeah, I'll
I
do that.
will give the information. Means once I get means it is up or running something like that. I will inform.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shubhra Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yesterday, you had posted one information regarding 7:30 morning some class. So is there a link for that class, or we have to use same? Because today morning I tried using same link.
Yes, Mataji. I have posted the link. Are you in the group? Which group? Are you in the group for
Uh,
Bhakti Viksha?
uh, no, I don't know that, Mataji. I don't think so.
Okay, Mataji, can you? I will need your number. Then, if you want, I will add you to that group for the classes, and the link is shared in that group only, Mataji. I
Okay,
will.
in that group only.
Yes, in that group only. I will add your number. I will take your number from the from this group and add you to that group if you are not there.
Yeah, add
Okay,
it,
Mataji,
Mataji.
then.
Yes,
So,
very well.
Shalini Mataji, these are additional things like Bhakti
Yes, Prabhuji.
Vrikshas. So you can join them. So, and then as we spoke today, right? The
Yes,
Bodhayantasya
Prabhuji.
Parasparam. So you can have,
Like
so
we are doing readings only. Means the
yeah, yeah,
Shloka
Bhagavadgita reading.
reading.
Yes. Shloka reading and the purport reading
purports.
all means together we are doing.
Yeah.
Okay, Mataji.
Mataji, does this
Uh,
happen every day or only on weekends or how is it?
we have planned it in weekends, Mataji, Saturday and Sunday. It
Uh-huh.
is up to us only. If you want, we can do it every day also. Like it is up to us only how we have to carry on.
Okay, okay. Even if it's weekend, that's fine. But then it's if it is okay, 7:30 morning. You
Yes,
mentioned, right?
Mataji, because I think 7:30 is okay for you, right?
Yes, yes. It's okay. It's okay for me. Weekend is only fine. 7:30 morning daily will become a problem because I go to office. That's why I asked.
Yes. For me also, it's the same thing only. For daily, it is difficult. So weekends, we are a little bit free. So 7:30 in the morning.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Perfectly fine.
okay, Mataji. Weekend is fine, Mataji.
Yes, I
Yeah,
will add you to the group. Merinda Mataji, you are there in the group.
I'm there in this current group, which is that L2
No, I
group.
think she is
Okay,
also
okay.
not there.
Okay, then I will add Shalini Mataji and Melita Mataji both in that group.
Okay, okay, Mataji. And
And
Prabhuji, like
Hmm.
out of all these shlokas, like we cannot learn all the shlokas. So, along while reading the shloka, if you can mention just this is important, you should learn something like that.
Yeah, Mataji,
That will be nice.
I'm telling, so mostly I'm
Yeah,
reciting only the important ones because you might be seeing that I'm not reciting
yes,
everything.
yes, not all, but still many are there, and like
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
am new to this. Yeah.
Mataji, you download those 108 shlokas of Prabhupada. Okay. So
Okay, okay,
there are 108 shlokas. So those are the important ones. So you can actually download that PDF. So if you don't have,
oh,
Shubhra Mataji can help you. She might be having that
okay,
PDF, so she can share you. Yeah. So
I will find and post it. Prabhuji.
yeah. So those are
okay,
the
Mataji.
important, Mataji. So I think if you remember everything,
Yes.
it is well and good. But if you can't, then at least
It's
we'll have
difficult.
to try and then remember those 108 shlokas. Okay, Mataji.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji.
and these shlokas are
Oh,
from Bhagavad Gita only, Prabhuji, or is it Srimad
Yeah,
Bhagavatam?
yeah. So all are 108 shlokas from Bhagavad Gita only. Mataji, Srimad Bhagavatam is again an ocean, so that's different. So these are 108
it's
shlokas.
very vast.
Okay, okay.
108 shlokas are the ones which, how did
Okay,
this
Prabhuji, yes.
108 number came in is, Prabhupada actually quoted these verses the most times in his lectures.
Prabhuji, your voice is breaking.
Okay. So I was saying that how did this 108 come into existence is, these are the quotes which Prabhupada actually used the shlokas the most in his lectures. Okay. That's the reason
Okay,
those are handpicked and then we can learn them. Okay. Okay. Thank you for your
okay.
association. We'll wind up for today's massages.
Yes.
Yes,
Vacha
Thank you.
thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
kalpatarubhyascha kripa
Thank you.
sindhubhya
Thank
eva
you.
cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji. Thank
Krishna.
you.